Hello.
Hello, everybody.
It's hot. It's,
Yeah,
it's hot.
yeah.
Hot with an O.
It's hot.
We're in shorts.
we
If
are
you're
in
watching,
shorts.
you lucky devils.
Brian made me shut all of the blinds in our house.
I thought you were
And I
going to say
hate
something else
that. I hate when it's all dark and it's meant to be to keep it cool. He wanted to buy an air conditioning unit.
then. Love that.
£300. I'm not paying £300 for an air conditioning unit for 4 days a year.
Fair. Anyway, catch up.
Catch up. Yeah, let's roll the intro first and then I'm going to say what I was literally about to say, so stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and welcome.
The Unfiltered Bride Podcast. Tips from the top table and beyond.
So you know it's going to be juicy.
This podcast has been sponsored by the wonderful Crafty Lab. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that I got married last year and these guys created one of my favourite elements of the wedding.
Oh, I love them. These were your newspapers, weren't they?
Yes, so we used them as a little guide to the day for guests. So we included order of the day, crossword, bridal party names, our love story, QR codes for image sharing, Spotify playlist link, and believe it or not, more things. It was so personal, and you know that I love a bit of personality in a wedding.
They're professionally designed for each couple, so it's not just a template that someone else will have. Each couple gets a truly unique newspaper. They don't print until you're 100% happy to, so even for you type A brides, you'll love them.
They have amazing customer service. They really cared and went above and beyond to make sure that we were happy, which we were. A small business with a big heart.
You can have them anywhere and everywhere, and you even had them in the taxis on the way to the ceremony and dotted around the venue. But I've also seen them on ceremony chairs, wedding breakfast tables, and in accommodation. And at 89p a copy, why wouldn't you?
So head to thecraftylab.co.uk to secure your spot in their order book. But be quick, there are limited slots for each month, and once they're gone, they're gone.
So get them booked. You definitely don't want to miss out. If you're wanting to find out more, we've popped their details in the description below. Tell me then.
Okay, so people always plan for rain. Nobody ever plans for boiling hot weather.
Did you see what I shared on my story yesterday?
No, what did you... Yeah, I did, but no, I didn't. I didn't read it.
What?
Sorry.
So
I was busy.
rude.
I was busy.
Basically, it was saying, why in peak summer are we planning a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock ceremony?
Oh, yes, I did. Actually, I did read a little bit.
It's could be so warm. Like all the abroad weddings you see and destination weddings are like 3, 4, 5 o'clock ceremonies outdoors.
Yes,
because of the heat.
But I did read that. I remember now because I remember looking and the timings weren't quite accurate enough.
I knew you were moaning about that.
Sorry.
But genuinely, this weekend,
phew.
a bride or groom in full suit, full makeup would have been tough.
It's hot. And last year was worse. It is hot. Last year was worse. There was a day that was horrific.
I had a wedding.
Horrific.
I had a wedding that day and I was dripping.
It was like August something. But and it sounds awful. All the guests were just meh. Ugh. It's just hot. You know when you're just grumpy when it's hot? Everybody was like that. And they didn't kick off. They didn't properly wake up until the evening.
So how do you feel? So I read something about this and they said if it's predicted to be a heat wave on your wedding day.
Yeah, but it's too late by then.
No, but just sending a message to your guests saying hey, you don't have to be in full tux. If you're doing a black tie theme, don't worry about the full tux. Come a little bit more casual.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You don't have to wear suit jackets.
I saw a guy the other day in shorts and a nice shirt. You know, like the linen shorts, nice shoes and a shirt. I'm okay with that.
I'm not.
It's boiling.
I'm not.
You have to be.
I'm not.
It was like a broad wedding vibe.
Do you know what?
God.
I'm going to offend so many people.
Go on. You might as well carry on.
I don't fucking care anymore because you all hate me anyway. But... I see it abroad and they have the beige shorts on.
Okay, I don't want groomsmen.
Listen to me, don't butt in.
Shush me.
Shh. Beige shorts, white short sleeved shirts, loafers, and a bow tie. And it's just giving me page boy 3-year-old vibes.
I have a real issue with short sleeve shirts.
Yeah.
I had an ex-boyfriend once that wore a short-sleeved shirt.
Another boyfriend to the list.
I've not had many boyfriends. And from then onwards, I just can't look at it. I'd rather you wear a long-sleeve shirt and roll it up.
Yeah.
Because my old history teacher used to roll his sleeves up and... hope you're listening.
What was his name? Shout out.
Mr. Horton.
Hello. Hello. What did you learn in history?
Nothing.
But yeah, so I think...
I actually have a history A-level, just shout out.
Whatever.
But
so, Little Uns. I think the Little Uns look really cute doing it. But for me...
Grown-ass men in...
I feel like, you can do chilled, beachy... I even have seen people in they're not the chinos, but those kind of style trousers. higher up, so not all the way down, but like in a linen shirt as well, which I
also
quite
don't
like.
know how I feel about boys not wearing socks.
Oh, you're old though, mate.
I know.
I had a bride many moons ago when I was wedding coordinating, and they literally rinsed him. All his mates, she was younger than him, about 10 years.
Okay.
So his mates were like, who do you think you are? La la la. And he was like, Beth, is it cool? And I was like, no, it's cool.
And this is specific to your Jack. When we went out the other day and he had those like pop socks on. That is vile. For women only. That is vile.
What, you'd rather him wear no socks?
I'd rather him wear no socks than pop socks.
No, because then his feet stink and his trainers stink.
It's gross.
Oh, I think he looks fine. Don't come for Jack, you bully.
Pop socks.
To be fair, the comedian did rinse him. He was like, you ain't got no socks. And he was like, actually, I've got pop socks. And she's
worse.
Like, that's even fucking worse, mate. I wouldn't admit that. I'm okay with no socks. Like I like the pop socks because they're smelly feet.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're saying no short sleeve shirts. Shorts are allowed.
No.
It's so hot there.
No shorts, sorry.
You're in shorts right now.
I'm not at a fucking wedding.
Yes, but why are girls like to wear like dresses and be cool? It's so hot.
It just gives me like little boy vibes. Does that mean? I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I don't fucking care actually. Come for me.
I do agree. When you said about the ceremony time, the only thing I have a problem with that is because the likelihood of it being boiling hot is pretty unlikely.
Yeah, you've got like a 1 in 100.
Yeah.
So well, this week probably.
Yeah, but it's not always. Sometimes it'll be like it will literally be raining next week.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Okay. Anyway,
so we have to still plan for a normal wedding, but I think you just need options. So one of the weddings I did during the last 2 weeks or whenever it was a totally clear span marquee.
Sauna.
And it was a marquee in like the garden. There was no aircon. There was no shade, but they did manage to get some fans last minute. So if you are getting married in summer and those fans saved that wedding, I'm not joking, because I don't think we would have been able to sit people out there. They're like very unobtrusive, and it was a massive marquee. So to be fair, if that wasn't there, I don't think I could have made people sit in there, because I think they would have died. But the fans saved it. So if you're doing a really hot day and you're doing a marquee, hot, book the fans. And then if you don't use them, you don't use them.
Yeah.
Everybody always gets heaters, but don't think about the fan.
I've seen people with like the little white brollies.
Love the parasol.
The lace ones.
I hate the lace.
What?
I like the paper. I like the paper parasols, like the Chinese kind of parasols.
I think we're talking about the same thing, but you're actually thinking about something different. But they're like little cute white ones.
Yeah, I just don't like
They're
lace.
not umbrellas. They are like sun shaders.
Yeah, I just don't like lace. It's a bit too Victorian for me.
Are you joking?
No. I wouldn't hate anyone that's got it.
Anyway, so we're not talking about weather today. We're just having
we're actually just talking about everything, so I'm okay with weather.
And leading on from the laced comment, I feel like we're very much in our clean girl era. Like that girl, like very clean, very like the gold is actually going a little bit, and it's very much like glass, lace. No, not black.
Fucking love black.
But it's just like glass heavy, really dainty florals, like mega impact still. But let me show you a video.
Okay.
Not that anyone can see, just so Georgie gets the vibe, because I don't think she understands clean girl aesthetics.
My issue is the trends of weddings. Like, just do what you like.
Yeah,
copy what your house looks like. That's my go-to.
But clean girl is very like timeless.
Was I a clean girl?
It's like modern timeless. So it won't ever date essentially. So yeah, obviously we do have a bit of gold here, but like, can you see like?
Oh, I actually got sent that. That's one of my clients, isn't it? Yeah. That's it is beautiful. I love it.
Very clean,
but it's definitely not for everyone.
No, but like it's a very clean girl kind of aesthetic, not very luxe and bougie.
I would call that luxe.
Yeah, it's luxe.
Fucking hell.
It's like luxe, chic, timeless, clean girl, but it's not like luxe, bougie, like ivory, gold, white. Like sometimes you can go a little bit gold heavy and on that front edge. Anyway, so I've got a bone to pick with you.
Me specifically.
Wedding planners.
Right. I'm going to pause for 1 second. I'd like to say something first before you start.
Shush!
No. I'm just going to put one little thing out there. Wedding planners give me a bad name, because some of you guys out there, and I actually need to tell you something too. Some wedding planners out there are bellends.
Oh!
They are.
Go on, tell me then.
I spoke to someone the other day. I cannot name anything, because I don't even know if the person told me that I'm supposed to say.
Can you tell me off podcast?
If I can remember who it is. So there was a wedding planner recently who got so drunk at a wedding that she got kicked out. She went on stage and started talking about her business, and like it was horrific. And apparently there was like 5 people trying to get her off the stage, and she'd been drinking all day and was absolutely wasted.
Sorry, what?
Isn't that bad?
One, as a supplier, you shouldn't be drinking.
How do you feel about suppliers drinking at a wedding?
I think it's like when we were talking about with Dan at the function band, he was like, yeah, like they might have a beer or a drink or like a celebratory drink or something like, to kind of
and I think if you're ending the day, I would only ever have a drink at the end of the night.
But I would never get wasted.
No, I would would have one drink.
Yeah.
But I
just like a cheers to be like
a little end of an era
celebration kind of thing. So
it's very rare that I drink at a wedding. It would only be if I'm staying late and doing whatever. But I don't mind bands drinking.
Girl, I got shit to do.
We had these photographers at a wedding last year who I had an argument with them. I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast. I don't normally have arguments with anybody, but these two photographers sat by the barbecue station at a wedding. So when guests were coming up, they were going to be sat there. So I was like, oh, girls, do you mind going to sit? There's like 1,000 other places they could sit. And they're drinking beer and stuff, which, again, I don't know if I mind. It was only during the wedding breakfast. So it was a bit early, but I don't mind. But don't sit there when everybody's going to come up to that station to get food. So I tried to move them and they literally kicked off at me.
I think one drink
a day.
Well, like most people are driving anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Anyway, carry on about your wedding planner.
No, go back to your story.
Oh, that was kind of it. She just got kicked out and she got absolutely wasted. I can't remember who it was.
What venue?
I don't actually know.
Who told you?
This a supplier at a wedding that I was at last week.
I'm so tired of your boring dead end stories that I don't have any facts
all I can tell you
them.
is the story. That's the part that you want to hear. A wedding planner got so drunk at a wedding that she got kicked out by the groom. Top tip, don't hire that wedding planner. Ask your wedding planner if she drinks alcohol.
Teetotal. Okay, so we got an email through our inbox and it was like, hi, blah blah blah, local venue, I'm working for my client so and so on this date. Okay, great. She's looking for a florist stylist, you'd be perfect. Okay, not a problem. However, I do charge an 8% finder's fee.
So you got to pay for that?
Wait, hold on. Go on. I do charge an 8% finder's fee, but I won't charge you to be in my little black book of suppliers.
Right.
Wait. So we then went back to her to say, does she want us to put that 8% finder's fee in our costing? So then essentially we're charging the client 8% more.
Yeah.
Which I strongly disagree with. Or do you want an invoice after? She was like, I'm going to invoice you after for it.
So you're paying 8% because she found you, even though you do your own marketing.
And funny enough, one, I'm in the brochure of that venue. Two, I went on her website and found her packages that she charges the client. So I thought, oh, maybe she does I will get the suppliers for you for free. But I charge them a finder's fee. Fair. Okay, that's a different way to do it. But no, she charges a price quite similar to your pricing.
Yeah.
To be a
wedding planner.
Who find your suppliers. I'll show you after. And then wants me to invoice me and pay 8%.
Do you know what I've never understood with wedding planners, and it's not something I do or ever will do, is first of all a commission, because it's literally my job to find suppliers. That's the put, like that's why you're paying for it. But also,
I'd love a bit of commission actually from you.
No,
you're on my website. I pay for a domain for you.
I recommend you. But I genuinely recommend suppliers that I think is suitable for the couple. I don't have any thingies with any suppliers. So it's not like if a couple spoke to me and said they want really rustic DIY furniture, blah, 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 that I'd be like, yeah, Etiquette are really good for that. Like, because it's not, it wouldn't go.
Rude.
Sorry. I also don't understand and will never do a price based on the percentage of your wedding. Like, my job as a wedding planner is to try and save money and to try and help you find things that are suitable. Why would I then charge you 10% of your wedding budget?
I'm not against that.
But why? Then clearly I'd be like, oh, you should book this band because they're 6 times more expensive than that band.
I get it from that point of view, but I think if you had a very clear budget, like set out, say 50k, you help say, this is what I would spend on this is what I spend on that once you've done your negotiables.
But why would I take a percentage of that wedding?
Because I think a 50k wedding to a 100k wedding is 2 very different weddings.
Not necessarily.
Fair, but
not planning wise. You still need a florist, a caterer, a blah blah blah.
But a 100k wedding, it depends. If the dress is like 50k, then do you know what I mean? You don't have to do a lot on that.
This is the price. If you want to add more things, you can. But this is how much it'll cost. I don't think that planners should be making money off suppliers.
I agree,
especially when you were supposed to hide that cost, and then one day if you speak to that couple and do the consultation here or something, they're like, well, why do your prices say it's this, but we've been charged this?
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I can
well.
understand the percentage
Debacle.
ratio because sometimes it's like, yeah, you might have a florist, but the florist is going to be bringing 10 times more than what they did at a smaller budget. So there's more logistics and more operation to do, and more like mood board and design stuff. Because some do that.
I will charge more for marquee weddings, because they involve a lot more stuff for it. But yeah, I'm just not a fan. I would never ask for a percentage from a supplier or a kickback, because I just think suppliers will support suppliers. They'll recommend each other. Oh, roll your eyes. What?
So moving on from that.
No, go on. What was the eye roll?
No. Suppliers support suppliers.
Some suppliers support some suppliers.
There we go.
Some suppliers are dickheads.
So rolling on from that, again, I got another call yesterday about being in someone's brochure for a 2-year fixed period and paying X amount. How do you feel about that?
How do you feel? Because I imagine, for me, I don't necessarily want to be at the same venue every week.
Yeah, so
whereas for you, it's probably easier to be at the same venue every week.
It is and it isn't. I mean, it's always nice to go to new venues and do something different. It does get mundane going to the same venue in and out, especially for my team as well. Like, the beauty of what we do is we have different weddings, different styles, different.
This is why I don't work in a venue. I don't want to do the same place.
So we used to pay a commission to some venues for being in their brochure and attending their open days that they'd put on free of charge.
What sort of price are you talking?
They let us have shoots them as many style shoots as we want. We used it for team training. Like, we had a really good relationship, so it did work two ways until we pulled the trigger at the start.
Pulled the trigger or pulled the plug?
Pulled the trigger.
Oh, okay. Not pulled the plug on doing it.
No, we pulled the plug.
Okay.
Because we were pumping so much into our marketing that we were finding the right clients ourselves. So
how much is it to go to brochure then?
It really depends. So we used to pay a venue 5% of the total cost of each wedding we did there.
No.
Ex VAT, so net price.
That's a lot, isn't it?
So, but that was when we were first starting out and we wanted to be
I get
like
when you
so
first
now
start.
We don't do anything.
Okay, yeah.
But the brochure price, I think it was like $750 plus VAT for 2 years, which isn't incredible. Like really, really high.
I just think couples find their own suppliers.
For me, if I put $750 plus VAT into my marketing online, into a shoot, into showcasing how creative we can be instead of just putting my name in a book, we'd get much more.
Yeah, I'm not in any paid marketing because I would rather market myself. But that's just me. But again, at the start, when I first started my business, I was yes to everything, everything and anything. Absolutely, no problem.
That's why you said yes to me.
Yeah, that is why we both got there.
Now look at us now.
Who would have thought? I need to tell you something about a wedding the other day. Content creators.
Yep.
But. And this is me saying starting out in the business, but one of the content creators that I worked with took photos as well with a professional camera and then has used those images as part of the thing. But do you not think that's really wrong for the photographer?
It's difficult because I've spoke to photographers about this as well, and videographers, if I'm being honest, because they've come to me and been like, oh, look at this new trend. I think in the nicest way possible, content creators are great for getting that behind the scenes footage, getting it back to you really, really quickly, and getting like the TikTok style.
Yes.
If you want professional photos, professional videography, don't degrade someone's skill, time, money, because these videographers and photographers have worked their asses off for years and mastered that skill. It doesn't compare. It's a completely different service.
Totally different.
And a lot of content creators know that. Like the content creators I've spoke to are like, no, this is completely different if you...
Yes. I am fully on board. Again, I think content creators are a little bit like videographers in terms of it's not for everybody. So some people don't want too many people there. Because if you have 2 photographers, 2 videographers, 2 content creators, a wedding coordinator, the venue thing, you've got 8 people stood around you constantly being like, do this, it's a lot. But for people that like that, then it's definitely a good option. But it is totally different to a videographer and totally different to a photographer.
I feel like photographers have had a bit more, and videographers have had a little bit more pressure put on them since content creators have come around, because I never saw as many sneak peek galleries the day after a wedding than I have now, because it's them showing, hey, no, we can turn it around quick for you to get those previews.
Because I've spoken to a photographer about this before, because I've always made a reel from every wedding I do for them and for my marketing. And I've always sent them that video the next morning, because if I don't do it straight away, it's not going to happen. And then they post that And then I feel bad but I've spoken to photographers and been like, do you send a picture straight away? And they're like, oh no, normally a week. And I'm like, but they aren't going to wait a week to post about it. They're not going to wait 1 week. They're going to use somebody else's picture. And it's not, so surely as a photographer, you want to be getting them that first photo so that you're being shared as the first picture. So I don't get it when photographers don't send over sneak peeks like ASAP on the night and day after. Yeah. Sorry, that's putting loads of pressure on photographers. Most photographers I know do sneak peeks the next day.
Yeah, majority do now, especially I think even more so content creators coming around on the scene.
I also think it's really good for couples to let people know where the hierarchy is. Yeah. Because in my head,
I think number one is photographer.
Then who would you say?
Videographer.
Yeah, then who would you say?
Content creator.
Yeah. But I put wedding coordinator just at the top. No, I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not. I am joking and I'm not joking. If there should be people in charge, I work with the photographers and stuff to say, go and do photos, but you have got to be back here at 2:45 because I need to get them in. So I will keep the timings of the day.
Just like you will then prompt the photographer, say, hey, speeches are coming early.
Exactly.
So you work really well. But I think photographer are top dog.
Me too. So unless somebody else feels differently as a couple, you should be saying to people, if you book a content creator, you need to say, look, you guys are, please respect the photographer. Because I have seen content creators that will go in front of videographers and photographers. And I'm like, you just can't. Like, you got to know the, what's it called?
Hierarchy.
Yeah, I was thinking of another word. You got to know the process of it as well. Like, that's how you'll get further within the business, is by respecting all of the suppliers.
But also, as in all due respect, content creators, a lot of them don't have any videography background or photography background.
Or possibly even wedding background.
Yeah, and you can learn so much. And a lot of the photographers, I mean, we were at a wedding a couple of weeks ago and Gary was giving so many good tips to Mel, and I was like, soak every minute of that because he is one of the top.
I like it when people come along and will say, what's happening today? Like, what's the plan? Tell me where I need to be. And I will say, here's all the stuff. I promise I will come and get you before I do anything of note. But I do think it's just like trying to build those relationships, because it's the same rules as like photographers and second shooters. Like photographer is the photographer. Those photos can't be redone. And if you've got a phone coming in the way of it, you're going to ruin moments. So I think just as a couple, if content creation is more important to you than photo and video, let the photographer and videographer know the content creators are in charge of it, and that's fine. But just something to think about.
I've got another bone to pick.
Go on.
So
can I just ask? That's a really weird saying, isn't it? I've got a bone to pick with you. Where does that come from? Brian, can you just Google where I've got a bone to pick with you?
Got a
bone to pick.
Yeah, don't pick my
sexual
bone.
Brian's just Googled. It says it's about apparently a dog picking meat off a bone.
Guys, I've got some big news.
Go on.
We have hit
100,000
downloads.
That's mad, isn't it?
100,000 of you.
And this is episode 21.
21. Can you do something
stop singing
for me?
Yeah, but I listened to that thing you sent. We're going to make a video about this, so we're trying to ruin it. But basically, we are in the top 1% of podcasts ever to have actually gone past 21 episodes. How good is that?
Which way's the beach, honey?
I've got massive guns.
Honestly, I think we're quite humble with it all, if I'm being honest, because me and Georgie just turn up, have a little chin wag, have a bit of bands. Brian's the brains behind it all. Paige does the marketing. So
we're very excited. We're very excited that people genuinely listen. And we've both said, like, I genuinely 6 times. I don't think I've been to a wedding recently where somebody hasn't come over and been like, oh my God, I love the podcast. And it just makes me go,
Yeah, a lot of people put it in the email. So like, if you do actually listen to the podcast and inquire with either of us, pop something in there that's funny. I had a bride the other day. I was like, don't worry, I won't be stood at the buffet in my wedding dress with a plate. But yeah, it's weird people listen to us.
It's so weird.
Because I feel like we're just having a catch up.
And I wish you could see the behind the scenes, because currently there's a light propped up on the chair.
Yeah, because I actually broke something for the light, apparently. Or it's gone missing, Brian said, apparently. But
we're very excited that you guys are here. We're very proud of ourselves and everybody that helps us do this for getting past 21 episodes. Like,
it's huge.
It's pure consistency, and we have made sure that we've made time for this, and I'm very proud of us.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we say it's easy, but it's genuinely
not easy.
We're
to
busy
do,
people. And Brian has to spend like a day editing every episode.
It depends how often Beth has like sang during it. He's got like
so yeah, thank you everybody. And if you haven't left us a review yet, please do. Because the more reviews we get, the closer we are to a live tour, baby.
Yes. And we have some ideas for a live tour. It's all happening. I was going to say something about that. No, maybe the views. Oh, so we've also decided, we've made this up, but we're going to go with it, that we must be the second biggest wedding podcast in the UK.
Yeah.
And we're putting newlyweds above it. And I'm pretty sure that now they're married, they can't do that anymore. So fingers crossed that they just want to have a nice, well-deserved break and we become the number one podcast in the UK.
And we have
no, number one wedding podcast in the UK. Sorry, Stephen.
Hold fire.
That's good, isn't it?
If you're listening, please don't. What's his start?
What?
And if you are listening,
don't tell anyone.
Please don't tell anyone.
I love his podcast.
Very good. I saw
Do you
his
reckon he'll get
show.
us on there?
His show was amazing.
Was it?
But moving on, we have some
What?
amazing guests lined up for the podcast.
Do we?
Yeah.
Who?
You know who?
Brian.
No. So keep tuned.
Yeah.
Keep tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We've got plans.
We've got big plans. Big plans. You know, if any of you know me and Georgie, we don't do anything by half.
Yes. And if anybody listening is a big time supplier, is a celebrity, anything like that, let me know. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
They're pretty big, you know.
Okay, yeah. So if you happen to be a celebrity that's listening to this, feel free to pop us a message. We'll but what do we class as celebrities? Because I call myself a celebrity.
We'll have a chat. You don't, do you?
No, I do.
Oh, you do.
No, I don't. I actually feel really...
You do.
I wish, because I think celebrities make loads of money and get loads of stuff for free, and neither of those happen for me.
We just got a load of free stuff from Coolio.
Okay, fine. Fair. Just eat that biscuit. It was really yummy.
Anyway.
I've also never been upgraded with a flight, so...
Have you not? You need to get an Amex.
I don't really fly everywhere.
Oh, you should
I'm
get
also
an
not allowed a
Amex.
credit card.
Oh, because you get air miles.
Yeah, no, not allowed to. Anyway,
Brian's shaking his head at me like he's
We're not allowed a
disappointed in
credit
me.
Anyway, we've gone way off topic.
I've got another bone.
Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, yeah, we didn't actually talk about the bone that got picked.
So, yeah, I have got a bone to pick. So, last night I was just chatting with my clients in my WhatsApp group, you know, top tier WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
1010, who replies at 11 o'clock at night.
Mate, I was asleep. I went to sleep at like 10, woke up with like 300 messages, and I was like...
We did talk about my McDonald's order, my fish and chip shop order, and a few other bits. But anyway... What we were talking about was wedding dress shops not letting you take photos. Tell me why. I don't understand. I mean, I get some reasons behind it, but I think it's bloody ridiculous. Like, why can't you take photos of you in a wedding dress that you're about to spend thousands of pounds on? Tell me. Because I feel like you're going to have some cocky little answer to give me back.
I can have the honest answer.
Go on.
The reason you can't do it is because you will take a photo of that dress and then you will go and find it online for cheaper and buy it from there.
Is that really
Yeah, of course it is.
So I've been told some of the reasons are...
Go on.
These must be my wishy-washy.
I know a second reason as well, but carry on.
So one, you'll change your mind by looking at the picture.
But also because the photos that you take at somewhere like that are not going to be good enough.
It's like when you try a dress on for a night out or something, you haven't got tan, you haven't got your hair done, you haven't got makeup done, you're absolutely gross.
And you're in the new... I mean, I don't shop in New Look anymore, but like the New Look lights above you and you're like...
So yeah, that happened. Someone said it's so the designers don't want you to do it.
So my issue with the reason I gave and that reason is when you go dress shopping, you know the dress and the designer anyway, so I could find it after if I wanted to.
Yeah, anyway. Number 3 is it's just our policy.
Yeah. I
just don't think there's a legit reason. Yes, I get about changing your mind. I get that. Like,
I do get that.
You will look at it more, but like for me as a stylist, it's really I really like to see your dress.
Yeah.
Because like when doing your bouquets, like I don't want to do a big F off bouquet.
Yeah.
If you've got really intricate detail on your dress that we don't want to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you've got like
if
anyway,
you are a dress shop,
let me know.
Message us. Yeah, because
I'm getting a bit aggy about it, and I don't know if there is a legitimate reason.
All of the shops
it.
I went to, I was allowed to take photos, and then we obviously know that the other dress lady let me take the dress to Cornwall to show my mum.
But what are you going to do if I whack my phone out and take a photo? Stand in front of me? Call the police? Well, what
you sound like Louis Spence. What are you going to do? Shoot me?
What are you going to do? Shoot me? Can't catch me. I'm like, I'll whip it. But no, but genuinely, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Find me?
Well, like they'll ask you to leave.
I'm
I
not
guess.
a fucking schoolgirl.
They'll ask you to leave.
Don't need telling off.
They also won't give you discount if you ask.
Can you ask for discount on a wedding dress?
Yeah.
Did you? How do you feel about people asking you for discount? Come on.
Okay.
Billy Big Bollocks aren't telling people to ask discount on their dress.
I didn't. That's not what I said. I said you couldn't ask for discount if you're taking photos.
Yeah. Come on,
definitely. If you're at somewhere like the NEC wedding show, ask away. Absolutely. 100%.
Show offers.
Yeah. If it's a dress, how do I feel about it? I don't do discounts.
Why?
Because I feel like my price is fair for the amount of work and for my level of skill.
Do you want to know something?
Go
I
on.
actually think you are undercharging. So if anyone wants to go, but Georgie, book now before she puts her prices up.
I don't disagree, and Brian tells me this frequently. But I have branded myself as the people's wedding planner.
I think
the plan is to genuinely help as many people as possible. And I try and think about what I would be able to afford within all of this. I could easily charge $5,000 to coordinate a day, and I would get a few weddings because I'm really good at my job. But I want to try and help more people.
I also think it's easier for you to be like that with your pricing because you don't have many overheads. For example, like you don't have, you do have some staff, but you don't
I've not got I don't have a unit, I don't have stock.
There's not too many outgoings. You do obviously, of course, have outgoings.
But not like
not on
your
a huge
business
level. So what happens when someone asks you for discount?
So it happened a lot during COVID.
So what do people say?
Like NHS workers and things. And then I'm like, do I just look like a dickhead?
Oh,
I'm
you're
not.
Nasty gal.
No, but back then Brian was a police officer, so I was like, actually, we've got to support and it is. I literally have a family that I have to support. Like, it's not. I'm not just doing it as a side hustle that's earning me a bit of dollar on the side. Like, genuinely, I have to like pay a mortgage and things like that. So discount, I just feel
really. Do you not live for? I thought you're a celebrity. You live for free.
True. No, nobody's gifted me a house yet. But discount to me, because also people have asked me if my other coordinators are cheaper than I am.
Fair.
No, but they're not, because we have all worked under the same business. We're trained the same. All I'm doing by making them cheaper is showing that they're not as good as I am.
Yeah, I actually, I don't disagree with that comment. It's like, you know, like a hairstylist. You go to, like if you went to the top dog who's
I wouldn't ever send a coordinator that I didn't think was going to do. And mine isn't necessarily always my experience. The rule of Georgina Rose Events coordinators is you do what you got to do.
Or it's like, you know, the function band when we spoke to Dan. It's like if you want Dan there, you pay it extra to guarantee him there.
Yeah, I just like ours is that you have
I
to
wouldn't.
do.
Sophie's just as good as Georgie.
This
it's
is
not bad.
Whoa, equal. But the rule is
equal.
The rule is if it needs to be done for a wedding, you do it and we figure it out later. So Monday I went to the shop twice for stuff for a wedding. So it's just, and that's all of our coordinators.
Like what?
I had to get cups.
Ooh.
Don't. But I will happily go and do that and pay for, like, it didn't bother me at all, because as long as it's needed for the wedding, I'm happy to go and do it. So there's multiple times I've been to shops at weddings.
I need someone to go buy me a cake and a dress. Actually, I forgot my dress. Can you go buy me a dress?
Well, the other day the cake didn't come to the wedding.
Yes, I know.
That was a bit of drams. All of the coordinators will sort that out. Anyway, going back to the discount bit, I therefore, if I start giving somebody discount, I will want to give discount to everybody.
Do you give discount to friends and family?
Yes.
Ooh,
very
much?
close. I probably wouldn't charge them. The issue is,
yes, I've got a wedding planner for free. Jack, propose now.
Yeah, but of course I wouldn't charge you. You know, I wouldn't charge anybody, because again, I don't have the overhead, so I am just giving my time. But the problem, the issue I have with discounts and things like that is that it's taking a date. It's not necessarily the work. It's taking a date out of my diary.
What we say, we get asked about discount all the time. All the time. And what we say is like, look, we don't blame you for asking.
Yeah, I'm not offended when anybody asks.
If we discount, it means we have to provide less of a service to you, which doesn't align with our brand. Yeah. So therefore, okay, you can have a 10% discount. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to reduce that 10% somewhere. Yeah. Which may
staffing.
mean less staffing. Yeah. Less florals. Yeah. Less
cheaper flowers.
Yeah. Like and it just doesn't work. Like, we've done it before and we've stung ourselves in the foot with it. And yeah.
I again, I'm not offended if people ask, but my answer will always be, unfortunately, I can't. I can't do it. It's not the same. It doesn't fit with the brand. Like, I'll be as good at that wedding as I will be at another wedding. So you just have to pay and if I am too expensive as a coordinator, that's absolutely
okay.
fine.
I'm not for everyone.
Yeah. Find a different coordinator that might be cheaper or whatever, but
you won't.
You know.
What have you been working? What's Georgina Rose Events been working on behind the scenes?
God. As in weddings or stuff?
Just what's going on?
I did a lot. June was busy for me.
Yeah, you were back to back. You didn't see your daughter for a while, did you?
So I've been trying to like make up for that So we do family days once a month.
Cool.
And we have some money, then we do something cool. So we did a good family
It annoys
day.
me though because you used to be really good at them, but
Fuck
now
off.
but now you don't upload as much, and I'm
Oh,
like
I
waiting for the
know.
next story, and
Sorry.
I'm like I'm trying to be present. What dinner are we having? And then you didn't take a picture the other day, and you like took a picture of outside the restaurant. I was like,
Sorry.
that's not what I want to see. Like it actually, like you used to be like mega on like getting all the content, and now you're rubbish.
Okay, next one I'll do better. I think the next one, are we going to try and go away? We're going to try and get an Airbnb. Isla said she wanted to sit in a hotel and watch TV, watch films in bed, and I was like, well, let's get a nice like Airbnb.
Wait, why does your kid want to do that?
Because she's cool, man. She's cool.
This is the kid that doesn't really eat sweets.
Doesn't eat sweet. Doesn't like ice cream.
Doesn't like ice cream.
No birthday cake. Hates
Like
cake. She's just a little.
What's your dream day out? Sit in a hotel.
She just, like when you go to a Premier Inn, like she'd love to come to a Premier Inn with me.
Yeah, I suppose so. Like when I used to work for other people, like going away for the night, I was like, I'm on holiday.
Yeah. I love Premier Inn.
They're paying for my dinner, my breakfast.
We just try and do stuff that's a bit cool. But anyway, that's because I didn't see her much but it just falls that there'll be some weeks which is just carnage.
Yeah.
So I think I'll have a look actually. But we had a really cool wedding at the Wilderness Reserve, which was stun. But Brian worked as well, so we both were away.
I'm aware.
So, oh what?
Oh, that wasn't the one that you did the village hall where I had Isla.
Yes, yeah, you had Isla. Yeah, so we had. So
Hey, there's no point paying this mortgage at the moment. None of you are there.
I know. Our gas and electric is low. So going from 1 week, I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Monday just gone. So it has just been pure back to back. But then from next week, it goes back to more like 2 weddings a week, which is then slightly more doable. And I don't mind putting my head down and just getting on with it for a couple of weeks if it then means we can do other cool stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been busy. I nearly had a breakdown, but I didn't, so it's good. We're all good. I don't think I cried. I haven't cried, have I? No, I haven't cried.
There we go then.
Yeah. I was just not going to come home at one point, just like leave. But I didn't, so cool.
We're good. She's back.
The problem is I stress about going to a wedding and like...
Why?
Not stress as in I like, oh my God, I'm busy, I'm sure. And then as soon as I get there, I'm like, I fucking love weddings. I love them. You can't be in a bad mood at a wedding.
Yeah, I agree actually.
It's just, everybody there is having the best day ever. Okay, most people, the bride and groom are definitely having the best day ever.
Yeah.
And I want to help with that. And I love it. What have you done? What have you been doing? Busy? Your June wasn't as busy, was it?
We had one mega weekend where it was back to back to back to back, like 3 events on a day.
Oh.
But no, we really restricted it now, so it's actually quite nice. We've got bigger weddings, but less frequent, which is so much more enjoyable. Everyone can enjoy it, so we are getting busier again. But yeah, I don't like being busy.
No?
Does that make sense? I don't want to be busy.
Are you not in that era?
I don't want to be busy being busy.
Yeah.
Like, because it sounds weird, but we had this one weekend and I was like, it's such a busy weekend, but because we worked on that weekend for about 6 months straight, making sure the logistics, the staff, the florist, everything was down to a T, it didn't feel busy.
Yeah, that's
so
nice.
It doesn't feel busy anymore. It's just because we're bloody well organised and it's like it's working nicely, which is nice. What else are we doing? We've got something mega next week.
What?
Huge shoot.
Who? Where? When? What day are you doing it though? Because this goes out on Wednesday.
20th. Big one.
Oh, so there should be some content. So if you're listening to this, go and look at Etiquette's page.
Hamswell House in Bath.
Nice.
And we're doing my dream, the stem aisle. Single stem aisle. big floral. So there's huge. It's the biggest budget we've ever put into a shoot before.
What's the budget?
I can't tell you.
Why? See, why?
No.
Why?
I will when final figures are out.
Roughly.
Easily, probably looking at 10 grand.
Fuck off. For a styled do you know, can I pick a bone with you? Why don't you just let somebody fucking get married thereafter? Why don't you just say, I'm styling this wedding exactly like this?
Well, we did look at doing an event basis. Basically, what we're struggling with at the moment is our content.
Okay.
So our average spend on a wedding now, you're looking at the 10
Couples
grand.
are paying.
10 grand to 15 grand.
Yeah.
Which is great. But
surely you get all the photos back from it.
Yeah, but a lot of them aren't till next year, and we really want to showcase some different floral designs. So like we've got like a floral tree thing happening, single stem florals down the aisle, like all the different looks.
Yeah.
But we can't showcase it on our Instagram because I point blank won't steal anyone's images and try and showcase it as my own.
Yeah.
So there's so many cool things we want to do, but we haven't got the content to show it. So this is why we do the shoots, to go, hey, look, this is what we can do. Don't get me wrong, I'm reusing the flowers from the tree to the table place
of course.
setting. But there's like a lot going, like we've paid for our models, we've paid for the dresses, we've paid suppliers. It's not a gifted shoot, so that's why the prices, like if we didn't have to pay for all the suppliers, you're probably looking at $5,000.
Okay, yeah.
Just on flowers.
Yeah.
Like flowers are spenny, but it's going to be big. But we've paid for, like, we've got to feed everyone on a styled shoot. So we do a styled shoot properly.
Yes.
Where we cover the drinks, we cover the food, we cover travel, we cover accommodation for us, like anyone who's coming, because we've picked specific suppliers that we want.
Oh, that's very cool. I like it.
That does.
But it does make me sad that then it just
of course.
Get used. But then equally, you can't stop a wedding to be like, I just need to get this angle.
Yeah.
So I do get it. But
so it is a lot of money, and it's obviously a massive chunk of our marketing budget, and it's never something we've done before. But
so actually, if you are going to look at it, can you also share it?
Yeah. Well, it's because we
you need the inspo.
We can showcase the level of work and the creative skills that we've got. But currently, again, it sounds really horrible, but a lot of weddings we do, there's always corners cut because they're like, oh, it's not necessary that I need the cutlery because it doesn't fit within budget.
I didn't know what you meant then. Yeah. So you need it to be all or nothing.
Yeah, and like, some of our clients will go all out, and some will be like, actually, can we reduce the florals down slightly? So
or I don't like gold cutlery.
Yeah, and there is so much we want to showcase.
Yeah. All right. Fair.
And like paying for a venue and things like that. Like, there's so much in it.
Well, good luck with your shoot next week.
It's going to be mega.
Okay, I'm excited for you.
Anything else?
Do
you think it's really snobby that I've said that's how much we're spending on it?
No, but it's so difficult for listeners to listen and be like, well, what are we talking? Like, give me a figure.
Yeah.
Like, this is the sort of thing when people are like, oh, that's really expensive. And I'm like, yeah, but what you call expensive, what I call expensive might be very different things.
But it's also, as well in that budget, is the amount of hours we've spent prepping it.
Yeah.
So my team have been prepping this for 6 months. We started planning this 6 months ago. It wasn't a rush thing.
Yeah.
Think about all the staff hours. So that is, I'm not just going, here's
10 grand,
here's a check.
Yeah.
But I've had to pay my team many, many hours. The setups, the vans alone.
True.
We've got like 2-3 vans going. You're talking $1,000 easy on vans. So going on that, actually.
Go on.
So we're working on the education side of what we do.
Yeah.
And in that, I say about all the finances, all the budgeting, and teaching people why I don't buy a van and own a van.
Fair enough.
Because people baff me. They're like, you haven't got branded vans.
Yeah. It's a status thing, isn't it?
Mm.
It's the same as why me and Brian don't have a really nice car.
No point looking rich if you're not rich.
Yeah, I just don't.
It's not.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, the price you might say it does even out eventually, but the MOTs, the insurance, insuring, like I've got to insure a whole team.
To
go on one vehicle.
Yeah.
Any freelancers, any casuals that work for us, they all need to be on that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Tires.
Yeah.
Washer fluid.
It's too boring
wipes.
for me as well. Like, I just turn off when it's like.
But also, in the nicest way possible, I am not a pro at maintaining, and like we work next to a mechanic, so
we work next to motorbikes sometimes.
Yeah, we work next to a garage, but I'm not the best. It's not my skill set, so I don't want to send my team out in a van that's not fit for purpose.
Yeah.
And shout out Enterprise, we use them, and we use plenty of vans of them. And
if they give you donuts all the time?
Yeah, they look after us. But if we break down, they have to get us a replacement van.
Yeah.
Wherever we are in the UK,
nice,
or Ireland,
and they are all over the place, so it wouldn't take.
So they have to get me a van so I can still come. If not, I'd be like, taxi.
I had a I had a fortune teller late for a wedding the other day. When she rang, she was like, I know I should have foreseen this, but my car's broken down. For fuck's sake. She did get there.
What do you do as, like, to be fair, like a hair makeup artist, you could always just get a taxi.
Oh, I'd leave my car and I'd get there.
But what if you're like a band?
You couldn't, you'd have to have a van. Yeah. You get there. You get there somehow. I wrote down some things of cool stuff at weddings that I've seen recently.
Yeah, go on then.
To talk about on the podcast. But I want to hear what else you've seen at weddings that you liked.
Drink stations now.
Drink station. You're into the drink stations now, aren't you?
Yes. So they're like bookshelves for drinks.
Yes, I like that.
I'm done seeing shitty drink stations with diamond linen. Diamond linen is not for me. So if anyone doesn't know what diamond linen is, it's so you obviously have your linen on a table and they put like a top cloth on and it does like a point at the front of the top table. It just really pisses me off.
I think I got rid of that from somebody the other day, actually.
I took off a lot of at weddings.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's so 90s.
Yeah. And again, this is the sort of stuff if you like it, that's cool. If you don't like it, make sure that the people know that they shouldn't be doing that. I saw a roaming band at a couple of weddings that I've done recently. Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
What do you mean a roaming band?
So they're not plugged into anything. It's purely like guitar, sax thing. The one that I saw it at the other day was the vibiest vibe I've ever seen. And it was during the drinks reception, and everywhere that they were getting people to sing around. They were stood in circles singing like Stacey's Mum, like those kind of cool songs. And then I did it the other day at that hangover party. They did like a pool party the next day, and they had a roaming band going around outside. And oh my God, it was just, I love it.
I want a pool party at my wedding.
Where are you getting married?
I'm not.
Oh. Jack, by the way, Jack didn't
proposal. Fuck's sake.
You okay?
No, he didn't. I didn't have my nails done, so I knew it wasn't coming because I know he knows I have to have my nails done.
Yeah, but would he tell you to get your nails done?
He'd make a way to try and get
You'd
someone.
know if he got your nails
he's done
done.
it before. He has paid for my nails quite often.
Well, he's randomly said to you, babe, you should get your nails done this
nails.
weekend. Yeah, but is that because you're saying I need my nails done? And he'll say, I'll pay for your nails.
No, sometimes.
No, there's no way he's ever just walked over to you and gone, babe, do you want your nails done?
No, like if I had like a really shit
what
week,
does he want?
He'll just be like,
what does he want?
Nothing. He actually is nice sometimes.
Brian's not.
He'll just go, oh, go get your nails done, someone, I'll pay for it.
Is he just getting you out of the house?
Probably. I think he just wants me to take time out, really.
Yeah,
but anyway,
no
any
proposal.
other cool stuff?
I saw a bride. Oh my God, this was actually really cool. A bride the other week had Crocs for the evening, white Crocs. Wait. And then she had a pin done with his face on it.
Love that.
And
she sounds cool.
It either said Mr. Mrs. or something like that. It had like the letters and his face, and I just thought that was hilarious. Loved it.
So,
yeah.
My final thought on today.
We didn't really talk about anything specific today,
but I have got another point.
Go on.
You were in the chat yesterday when they do it about pinning up the dress. So
bustle.
Explain what that process is and what you shouldn't do.
Okay, here's tips for bustling your wedding dress. So first of all,
can you just explain what bustling means?
Bustle, a wedding dress bustle is when you take a long train and you make it a shorter train.
Yeah.
So tips for this is, first of all, you will want to bustle it. Please don't think that you're not going to want to. I promise you, even if it's at 11 o'clock at night, that train is going to do your head in and you're going to want to get out of the way. So always get a bustle put on. And then if you don't want to use it, fine, cool, but you will. Second tip is, don't let them just like give you one of those safety pin things that has got cute like pearls on it. They don't work. It will never last. It needs to be way more than that. And then the third tip is to figure out how you want it bustled. So my dress was like a satin, like long train. And the normal thing is that you grab a bit. There's normally like a little ribbon put on the top, and then it goes up and it pins onto one of the ribbons, one of the buttons that you've got on the back. I didn't want that because you'd see the dirty, like the dirt bit that it drags. So other dresses, you can't see it as much, but for a plain satin dress, it's horrific.
Yeah.
So I got them to bustle under and do it so that I specifically it would just look like a dress and not like it's all been bustled up. So get them to show you options. So there'll either be a ribbon that you put onto a button, or you'll have ones where you've got like ribbons underneath, and then underneath the dress you tie the bit from the end of the train to somewhere up by your bum, and then it tucks it all under. You will want to bustle your dress. Please make sure you film it when you're at the wedding dress shop, because you will forget how it's done. If you don't have a coordinator, none of your mates are going to have a clue how to do it. Think about how you want it bustled, and don't use the pin. Have something that's actually like tied or onto a button.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Bustle.
Gentleman.
They might not need to bustle as
bustle
much.
Your batties.
Do you have a bitches?
Bitches from a
Where's our tip jar?
We don't have a tip jar.
Where's it gone?
Don't know.
You've binned that because you didn't like it. Where's the tip jar? I'm going to read the bitch from the bride, and then you're going to find a tip jar. Okay, I have a hashtag bitches from a bride for you.
Hashtag. Love that.
Myself and my partner are thoroughly enjoying the podcast and so excited about working with you for our 2026 wedding. Here's my issue. My mum is my bestest friend. It has always been us. She was a single parent, so she's always been in the spotlight with me. So come to the wedding, I have two issues. The first being the dresses I like, she keeps telling me, you need to remember...
Go on.
You need to remember these dresses are on size 4 models, not a chunk like you. How do I go about getting the dress I want? She's paying. I've tried to talk her out of paying by telling her I don't want her money, to blindfold her opinion as it's my dress, my day, etc. Nothing is working. Then she now wants to walk down the aisle. So I want my bridesmaids, maid of honour, then my 2 children, page boy and flower girl, then me and my dad. However, she is adamant that she's going to walk down the aisle with my children, which I don't want. I purposely want a photo of them 2 together. How do I politely tell her to fuck off? The only thing she's putting money towards is the dress. I've made it clear that no money, no input, hence why we're all paying for ourselves. Love the podcast.
I'm pissed off.
Are you?
I'm really actually...
You're a bit sensitive with thing right now anyway, aren't you?
We had a similar situation with a client last night in the group WhatsApp that her mum said that style dress wouldn't suit her because she's not one of the slim girls. And I'm a little bit tired.
Hold on. At what point is it then just being
a bitch?
No. At what point is it trying to be like, oh, I don't... Because you have always told me you'd want me to tell you if you look like shit.
Yeah, but I think there's ways to do it.
Okay, agreed.
The fact you're going to call your daughter a chunk, not one of the slim girls, I think...
Chunk. Yeah, but the problem is I can hear a mum saying it and it's not meant to be...
Yeah, but it's not fucking cool. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like you said, the pressure on you for your wedding day, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not cool. And if you really like to dress and someone said you look like a chunk in it and that was your dress, you're not going to fucking buy it.
Yeah?
You're not.
No, I know. You're okay.
No, I feel sorry for these brides.
I know. Me too.
It's just like, I think if my mum didn't think I looked good in a dress or my friends didn't think I looked good in a dress, I think they would say, Beth, I don't think that's the one.
Yes.
Or let's keep looking until you're 100% sure. Like they would encourage it that way instead of being so direct and blunt
that it make you sad.
Because that's cruel.
I agree. How do you feel about the walking down the aisle?
Tell us fuck off. Nah. Just be like, look, this is the way you've made me feel. Like,
yeah.
This could be my dream dress. This is the dress I want. And now you've told me I look like a chunk in it. Like, what do you want me to do? Have a wedding dress that I'm not 100% on? Because I think
but it covers enough of me.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this before about open and honest conversations straight up, because I think sometimes genuinely people aren't trying to be offensive. I just think it doesn't come out well.
And again, I think I was saying
especially
again,
if they're like best friends, if she's raised her forever being pretty like chill and honest and stuff like that, I don't imagine she's intending to make her feel horrible.
But I think, like you said previously in an episode, that you have a duty of care to your daughter to make sure she never gets brought up thinking about like diet culture or her weight or how she looks. Obviously you've got to manage it so you don't have a fat kid. But you know you're never going to be like, you're fat.
Yeah.
You know, like...
I'd be like, oh my God, should we join the gym, babe?
Jack tells me all the time, don't come gym with me. I get the hint,
I know what you're saying.
But I think it's really important, and I do think it's a generation thing as well, because I don't think... like our parents with their families didn't have that same kind of line of communication of
and they just told them
they
literally would have gone, you look fat, take that off, and they'd go, okay, sorry.
We live in a different world now. We really do.
How do you feel about the walking down the aisle?
I'm not against it, because she said in that message they're best friends. It's always been me and my mum in the spotlight, so why isn't your mum walking you down the aisle and your dad is?
No, the point is that she doesn't want her to walk down the aisle. The mum wants to walk with her two kids. Which I wouldn't want. I would want my picture of my two kids walking down the aisle alone. Why doesn't your mum just walk down like a bridesmaid then? That would be my compromise. Often
before you walk down with your dad,
I often get a really awkward bit in the morning when mums say, "When do I walk down the aisle?" And I'm like, "Ugh." But what I normally do, so I get them to do what I did for my mum, is get somebody to come and get her and bring her in, so she still walks down the aisle, but not the music starts after. So that would be my. Or if she is that close to you, send her down first. Yeah. Send her first. Why can't she be the first?
You said she's always been in the spotlight with you. That seems...
But I do agree that I wouldn't want her to walk down with the kids if you didn't want them to.
How do you feel about the dress comment then?
What, the
chunk?
It's just not nice, is it? It's just not nice. I wouldn't... Why is everything about looks? I had somebody message me the other day as well, and they had a similar thing to me where they didn't like a certain part of them on the day. And I literally messaged back saying, we did a podcast about this because it literally is not the best I've ever looked. And there's so much pressure on being the thinnest you've ever been the best skin you've ever had, the best hair, the best lash, like literally everything, that it's unachievable. Totally unachievable. And then you see other brides, and it's really difficult for me because I go to a lot of weddings and I see these brides and I'm like, you look fucking beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then I'm like, oh, I wish I looked like that. And then I have to not.
Oh, Georgie.
It's okay, mate, I'm fine.
Georgie, poor
cry. But I don't look. You're never going to look the same as other people. It's the same as comparing your wedding decor to each other. If you can't afford to do that, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
you've got other stuff going on. I can't be stunning and this funny, hilarious.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be fair on the world.
It wouldn't be fair on the world, yeah. And then you would be rich and famous.
This is true. To do a tip jar.
Second shooters.
Oh, did you like my tip the other day? You need a second shooter.
So for anyone who doesn't know, second shooter is a second photographer on the day.
Yes.
Go. Tell me why you need them, what they do.
So a second shooter, first of all, is booked via your photographer. Don't start bringing in another photographer that you've booked yourself, because that's not cool. You can't do that. You need to go through your photographer. And basically they bring along another photographer. Quite often they're another like photographer in the industry, but they're working under your photographer's name. So your photographer then edits their pictures. They do all of that. But having a second shooter means that you get all the other stuff that you wouldn't see. And I love it. And I wish everybody had second shooters. If budget allows, and they're not as expensive as the first, they're normally, and I want to just throw out the price, around like £350.
Really?
So it's not ridiculous. It's just enough to cover their day of work and then your photographer editing. But it just means that when you go off and have your couples photos, they'll get photos of the drinks. So I've seen pictures of the drinks reception that I would never have.
Yeah, I feel
known
like
what's
drinks
happening.
reception does get missed out a lot in photos, doesn't it?
Definitely. And it like they'll quite often send in the second shooter to go and do all the detailed shots in the room.
Like at your wedding, the second shooter was getting Brian like as guests were arriving, but the main photographer was getting like Pat was with you.
Especially if you're like elsewhere to your venue. So I had Pat with me, and then we had the second shooter at the venue, like you said, getting people come in. And I didn't see any of that. I didn't see anybody coming into the ceremony room.
You didn't see Brian sweating.
Like, it's just really nice to see it. And I just hope that if you have the budget, please do it. If anybody's sat on the fence about, I don't know whether to have it or not, 1,000% recommend. They're just good. They're brilliant. And it means you get boys prep. This is stereotypical, but boys prep, girls prep, couple one prep, couple two prep. Like, it's nice. Do it.
Cool. That's a wrap.
Yeah, that was it. I like that episode. It was like
a bit chatty.
Yeah. Are we okay with the chatty? We're okay with chatty ones. We've got a few coming out that are actual like topic ones. So we'll see you next week.
Stay
tuned.
Week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.